Hi everyone, John Ricky. Hope you guys are doing good. I want to share with you my daily routine in the morning. I usually wake up usually early in the morning when it's still dark. Right now in Hawaii, it's dark longer because it's winter time. But I like to start my day early. I go to sleep about 9 o'clock. It's hard to sleep, so that's why I go to bed that early so I can try to sleep by maybe 10 or 11. I get up a couple times in the night, so that's why my routine is like that. But anyways, when I get up, what I do is I go to my calendar. So if you can see my calendar, guys, right now, it's color coded, and every morning it's a blank slate. I block out my calendar. So as you can see, it's color coded by category. So the light blue is like my ventures. The dark blue are things I got to do for clients like law or real estate. My ventures is my AI project, my film project with my partners, and my game project with my partners. So I have two sets of partners that I'm super fortunate that I met. This last year has been pretty amazing with both of those ventures. Of course, you don't make any money until you get the product created, but I love it. I just enjoy that work. It's my favorite. Law and real estate is my bread and butter, but I still enjoy that as well. And there's a lot of integration between all of the industries or the sectors. So the domains. So I really appreciate how they interconnect. I get new ideas and everything, so it's really great. But going back to my schedule, as you can see, it's color coded and it's blank every time. I love to leave a blank calendar prior to my day. It clears my mind, it gives me clarity. And then on the green up here, see on the green up here, I I emphasize what's the main what is the main subjects I'm going to work on? What is the main themes? So AI is my first one in the green. Then estate law for my client is second. So the really hard work I try to do it in the morning. Then in the afternoon I'll do some law. It's hard, but it isn't as hard as the morning work. So real estate and admin and law, it's more in the afternoon. There is hard work with law too. Fortunately, I've been doing it over and over where I know it well. But with AI, it's like super new and novel. It's like I'm starting, I am starting from the bottom again, from scratch again. It's like I'm a student again. So I gotta learn it, and it's a lot challenging because of the details. Even though I'm doing vibe coding and explaining it to my AI in English, I still gotta guide it. I still gotta correct it. Sometimes I don't want to duplicate work. Like a couple times I have to catch it trying to make me do work that wasn't necessary. So like stuff like that, and just trying to understand the workflow of a coder. Try to understand and how to think like a software engineer. That is not something I train for. I'm a attorney, political science guy. Like I love, and then I had to train myself for the logic side as well as the creative side of creating an app. So it's really exciting, but it's very technical. Despite the advantages of vibe coding, working with your AI and apps that help with you coding. So nonetheless, it's still challenging for me at least. So as you can see in the green, see where I'm pointing right here, the green. That's where I categorize my main themes that I work for the day. Then you see the IP. IP in the evening. That's when I start working on my fiction work, on my ideas for storytelling on different mediums, such as with my partners on film. Right now, we're gonna try and put a screenplay that I wrote for our company called Brosewood LLC. That brand is gonna produce a film, and then hopefully we can sell it to a distributor or get a licensing agreement to put it on a streaming platform or something. So we had a great meeting not too long ago. We're going to decide to go that route. with my game partners, digital game, we're also looking at transmedia. So transmedia, film, all of that is interconnected with games. If you notice with games, a lot of them create a game, it's in anime format, they create an anime movie, and then later on they do a live action. Or maybe they go straight to live action. I don't know. But I'm super excited with my new partners. We're in a negotiation for MOU right now. We've already signed an NDAs so that we can exchange confidential information. I can give them all my IP information and whatnot. Nonetheless, I have it all copyrighted in the U.S. Copyright Office. My trademarks are all trademarked, where it's out in the public, branded as such under my company Positive Masters, which is also branded and trademarked publicly in the public especially in the internet world. So these are early ventures that I'm working on. I'm super excited, but I'm super nervous at the same time, because these projects, you don't make money until the product is finished, and you put in every year you put in hundreds of hours. So what I did is, with AI refined my schedule. I just been working so hard. I rarely go out, and when I do, it's like, unfortunately, when I do go out, that one time I got into a car accident. There was a lane closure and stuff like that. But anyways, I hardly go out, and when I do that, it's for a friend. And that day, I had a good friend that we had to exchange Christmas presents, and it's February, almost end of February, and we exchanged gifts. But get a car accident on the day I exchanged Christmas gifts. But what the heck, right? You just keep going. You just keep going hard, and that's how I function. That's how I operate. With that situation, I'll be honest. I don't even want to go out anymore. Every time I go out, anyways, I don't want to go out anymore. It's just a variable I'm eliminating. In fact, I'm eliminating more than that variable. No, I will go out, but I'm eliminating other variables, like other variables. I'll explain that later in another video. But I want to continue on with my scheduling and what I'm doing here with AI. So AI can also help you with your strategy and your decision making, your planning. So what it did was it created me a schedule. So it gave me a schedule. It knows that I burn out because I've told it I burned out. It knows when I'm pushing myself too hard. So what it did was it gave me a sample week schedule here. So with this sample schedule, Monday through Friday mornings, prime cognition. I gotta work on the hardest thing. Before, the hardest thing used to be law. Then it became fiction writing. Then it became screenplays. Then it became trying to understand the whole filmmaking process. Once I got to understand at least 80% or more of that, then I realized, okay, I'm starting to get it better. But still, all of these things like law, creative work, has to be in the morning as best as I can. But unfortunately, right now, things have shifted. I'm trying to learn AI. And AI is super hard because it's brand new for me. I'm trying to think like a software engineer. I'm trying to think like an AI or tech architect. That is not something I trained for. So now what is happening is, with AI, I've learned to schedule things accordingly. And it has given me an example to put my hardest work in the morning, which I do. And with Deep Work, a book that I love, it also says put your most deepest and hardest work in the morning. That is for people like me who have shifted from a night worker to a day worker. And I still do work at night, but now I've shifted. I wake up early, I sleep early. Before, I used to work late. That was my college days all the way to probably my early 40s. But recently, the last decade or so, I've been just putting a lot of my time in the mornings. And I love the mornings now. Before, I didn't like the mornings. I love the mornings now. So anyways, going back to my schedule, midday is law, real estate, or administration. Those are my bread and butter. Yeah, okay, law is difficult too. And there are times where I got to push it into the morning. But for now, this primal, this not primal, but this urge to understand AI is like immediate. This is urgent. This is stuff that I gotta go now. It's a timely matter because the way things are moving, a lot of us are gonna lose jobs or work. If you're an independent contractor, knowledge worker, there's that concern. So that's why I'm pushing this AI thing hard, because I want to understand and get into it as fast as I can and integrate my ideas with it. And my partners who are AI developers and game developers, I can share things better if I teach myself coding, if I teach myself vibe coding, if I teach myself how to think like a AI game architect, or to think like a technologist or software engineer. I am not trained in that, and that's why I'm like excited, but like I'm like a kid again. I'm in school again, and I have to be disciplined in teaching myself these things. So midday law or admin or real estate, evenings is my IP. IP meaning intellectual property, which is all my screenplays, my novels, my world building, my characters, my nonfiction book, anything that's creative in my head and I'm trying to put a product out for the world. Right now I got to do it on the evenings. Unfortunately, that's how it is because my schedule's so tight. I got to understand story structure, mythology, psychology, philosophy, story structure that is needed for screenplays. I've learned that. I read all the books. I've studied it. I worked with AI on it. I've graded myself based off of the best screenplays and my favorite writers, mythologists, all of that, storytellers. And I grade myself. Just like school, I grade myself. And I use AI to go hard on me and give me the best, strongest critique and constructive criticism, and I just keep pushing myself until my grade hits a 9 out of 10 at the very least. I don't move forward unless AI gives me that kind of grading, and I'll be honest, I work more now with AI than I did without AI because I didn't know that grading structure. I didn't have that constructive criticism and that analysis partner that can give me feedback. I had to rely on other people's feedback, like the gatekeepers that graded my screenplays in the competitions, or that kind of stuff. And that's expensive gatekeeping feedback. That's expensive because you got to enter these contests and spend like money on it. Now I have a partner that just like it understands. It read all those books and screenplays, and it studied all these principles that I read and studied. But the key is for me is because I read those principles prior to talking with AI, I understand when I have to correct it or when I have to challenge it or interrogate, like the Socratic method. It's going Socratic on me, and I'm going Socratic on AI. But if I don't understand these principles, how can I challenge it? How can I fine tune my work? How can I understand its analysis? Or are we missing the entire point? Do we have to go another direction? How do I make a decision? In the end, I got to make the decision. So that's why, like, working with AI is key. And with this whole situation with the scheduling and how to optimize my learning is key. How to optimize my execution is key. So if you look at the schedule, if I keep doing this, and Saturdays it says do some 2-hour IP deep session, but it does emphasize rest, and I want to emphasize rest because I burn out so often. So it's emphasizing rest on Saturday. If you want, I can do 2-hour deep sessions. And you know what, I actually go hard on Saturdays. So Saturdays I feel like there's no distractions, like very little. Like, no, I take that back. I get phone calls and all that. But I still gotta kind of regulate and manage that. But anyways, Sundays is my family day. But it's telling me to do a 90-minute CEO review. In other words, to go over all my main stuff, that like the cash flow, the risk management, go over like stuff that I did with my partners, the hurdles, the pros and cons, to review everything, and then look how I'm gonna work on the next week. How am I gonna move forward on the next week? What is my priorities? And then I do the whole thing again, like I showed you in the calendar. Unfortunately, I gotta limit my time with my artists on the internet to 45 minutes a day is what it's saying. So I moderate 4 artists on TikTok live streams. I do love it. That's my only time I interact with people besides my business partners or clients or whatnot. It's the only time because I don't go out and do much. But I gotta limit to 45 minutes if I want to push this. The interesting thing is it says no new law marketing or new ventures. So it looks like it wants me to stabilize with my current workflow. Yeah, okay, I'll take new clients if I have to keep that cash flow stable for real estate and law. But it's telling me not to market. That's interesting. Or anyways, I think it is trying to make me push the ventures faster. I think that's why. Sleep target 6.5 to 7 hours. Okay, I have a challenge with that, and I'm getting better. I'm getting better at that. Like last night I had 7 hours. I still woke up in the middle of the night, but that's my goal and I got it. So if I do this plan that AI is telling me to do, by the end of 2026 I should have 850 hours of work into my AI project. I should have 550 hours of work into my intellectual property, which is all my writing and for films and games and books or whatever. Books, I unfortunately it's not something I'm gonna focus on. Is my partnerships with my film partners that sell to Netflix and Hulu and other studios, and then my partners in AAA games that developed League of Legends and Halo and Forza. They are on their own now, and they want to work with creatives to create new games. And I'm just so fortunate, so lucky that I have these people. And then my main partner that's around me, that many of you know, she is amazing. She is the best salesperson I've met in my life, a great people person, a philosopher. So that's why I can talk for hours with her if I have to, because she helps soothe my stress, anxiety, challenges. If you can find a partner like that, oh my goodness, gold, silver, everything, diamonds, whatever you want to, whatever your favorite thing is, it's like makes everything looks tiny. It's priceless, seriously priceless. So anyways, that's my goal, guys. That's what I'm doing. I hope your journey is good. I hope your life continues to be successful. Love the ups and the downs, love both. Understand yourself better so you can understand and be caring and empathetic for others. Love you guys. Keep doing your best. And until next time, I'll talk to you later. Bye.